Aunt May explains Peter that his parents died in a plane crash. She, Uncle Ben, and Peter always believed that. She apologizes to Peter and mentions that they didn't actually get to see the bodies. There was no funeral. There was no final farewell. She told him that she believes he's grown enough to know this was kept away from him simply not to give an empty hopes. And finally, she tells him that every kid in his situation would behave the same, pretending that there's something bigger going on, some kind of mystery, but instead, he should simply forget about it. She tells him that she loves him and that Uncle Ben would say the same. They both hug and camera slowly goes into the sky. Next shot, it's a classroom scene. Peter, among all other students, sit in the class. During the lesson, Harry Osborn enters the classroom. He's late, he looks very upset, very exhausted and very depressive. He sits next to Peter and Peter asks him if everything is alright. Harry bows his head, not looking into Peter's eyes. Teacher explains to the students that tomorrow there's this huge event and that they are going to choose two best, brightest students to attend it. Teacher mentions that it's the long-awaited launch of the Oscorp space station and two brightest students who are best at physics will be invited. Without any more hesitation, she announces the name, Peter Parker. Peter is a little bit shy, but nevertheless he smiles. She tells him that he can invite one more student, it's up to him. Peter looks to Gwen and they both smile. On the back you can hear Flash Thompson making a joke about Peter being a nerd and that he should have invited him instead. But once Peter looks back, they both smile. They seem to get along after the event at Oscorp Tower. Rings a bell, students leave the classroom. Harry catches Peter in the hallway, who's standing nearby with Gwen and talking to her. He tells Peter that they need to talk. Gwen, smiling, tells them that she will leave them and she will wait outside. Harry is silent for a few seconds and asks Peter how it's going. Peter tells him that everything is fine and Harry interrupts him by saying, great, that's great, man. Peter, you're the only guy I know here. Would you like to hang out a little bit, like just a brief chat between friends and I have some things to share. I think you're the right person to talk about it. Peter, my dad, Parker! Somebody screams in the background. Peter Parker! Do you think you can show up at the event just like that? Come here and take the invitation card. Peter goes, takes it, says thank you, and when he tires his bag, he finds out that Harry is gone. Peter looks upset. Next scene, it's evening already. Spidey is swinging across the New York City. Peter keeps thinking about what Aunt May told him this morning. A brief next shot. Spidey is sitting at the top of the Empire State Building. Peter is also remembering his conversation with Curtis Connors about how he and Peter's dad worked together, and how he disappeared without saying anything. His eyesight falls into the Oscorp Tower, which is a few miles away. At this point, he decides to call Gwen. Next shot is Gwen's apartment. She's doing her homework. Peter asks her if there is any possibility to get in the Oscorp at this point. She says that there are no current intern programs and asks him why he needs to get there, mentioning that the last time they were there, it was a very sort of upset event. Her dad died, and Peter tells her that he was just curious and reminds her to wake up early tomorrow due to the event. Next few shots is just New York skyline. Next scene, it's night. You can see a lonely man standing in the balcony. He looks around, observes Manhattan's skyline. It's Max Dillon, and he is certainly waiting for somebody. He holds a picture of Spider-Man in his hands. Hours pass, nobody comes. He looks upset and goes to bed. Now at this point you can see, guys, that Max is obviously a huge fan of Spider-Man. He now behaves very delusional, especially after the meeting with Spidey, and it seems that he thinks that Spider-Man is now his friend. And that is exactly what Jamie Foxx mentioned a few weeks ago. So, it's based on the reveals by Jamie Foxx himself. Next shot, you can see a crowd gathering nearby the Manhattan's outskirts. You can see a huge building with reactors and stuff. That's the power station. The event starts with a few of Oscorp's employees explaining how this is going to be a huge breakthrough in the world of science. They continue talking regarding this scientific topic, and Peter and Gwen are among the crowd, and Peter just noticed that among the researchers there's this guy standing right there, the guy he met back when he was pursuing somebody who's been spying on him on the balcony. Peter goes like, "Check this out! It's this guy. Who would have thought he works at Oscorp?" An idea quickly comes to his mind. Once the first researcher group is replaced by some partners and other researchers and other talks, Peter runs to Max. "Hi there," he says. Max, a bit confused and shy, says, "Hello, are you interested in..." Peter interrupts him. "I'm Spider-Man's personal photographer and a good friend." Max's eyes are open wide. "You know Spider-Man?" Peter smiles and says, "Yes, personally. He told me about you, how he feels sorry for smashing your balcony in pieces." Max looks even more surprised, and he is definitely trying to smile. "Listen, he wants to meet with you and apologize personally. Today." Max is very excited and asks where and when. Peter is silent for a second. You can see that he didn't expect such a quick counter question. Here. Yes, here. He will be here at 11 p.m. You have to be here at 11 p.m. if you want to meet him. He also mentions that he will remind Spidey about the meeting today a few times, since Spidey tends to forget things. Only if Max will give him his Oscorp's worker pass card in order to get to the Oscorp tower. Peter explains that he and his girlfriend need to write a coursework about the Oscorp, and the best source would be if they both could visit the Oscorp tower for a short time. With some hesitation, yet still excited, Max gives him the pass card. You can see a person watching both of them. This person looks straight from the window. He sees that Peter bows a hand and goes away, leaving excited Max behind. Camera zooms in to the mysterious guy's face, to his mouth, and you can see him smiling. Next scene, well, it's actually a scene in a scene. Both scenes are running at the same time. Peter prepares for his night visit at Oscorp. Max prepares for his meeting with Spider-Man. Peter puts on Spidey's suit. Max puts on his cheap-looking suit and glasses on. Next scene, Spidey is swinging to Oscorp, taking care of a few thugs who robbed a woman on his way. Just some brief action scene. Next shot, Max Dillion standing at the power station in his suit. Nobody comes. He goes to his office, sits on the chair, and looks through the window very upset. A door opens. A person in a wheelchair comes in. Now, guys, this is supposed to look very scary and creepy, since you can't see this person's face at all, just like the post-credits scene with the Man of the Shadows in The Amazing Spider-Man 1. In the prison. A person silently stares at Max. Max comes closer. Sir, are you okay?" Once he reaches even closer, he grabs this guy's hand gently and boom, he falls unconscious. A massive electrical charge throws him back. Screen goes black. Next shot, Peter is going through hundreds of files at Oscorp. He managed to get through without being noticed, and he finds Richard Parker's folder. Next shot, same night. Max Dillion wakes up in the middle of the huge hall. He quickly understands that it's the top floor of the Oscorp's power station. He stands up, but something is wrong. Something feels different. He notices that he is in some kind of costume. It looks very sci-fi and unreal. Some wires are going through his arms and through his body. A person in a wheelchair says, "Hello, Max." Max turns his back. He's scared and surprised. He puts his arm towards this person immediately, some sort of natural protection or protective reaction, and to his surprise, he throws a lightning bolt across the hall. He looks to one of his hands and notices that wires are glowing blue. He feels different. He feels stronger. "That was close," says the person in a wheelchair. "You have to be more careful, my dear friend." Max asks what happened and what's going on. A person tells him, "Isn't that what you always wanted, Max? I know that you feel very upset, you feel very bad, and I know your sins, Max. You were always an underestimated, a brilliant researcher. You made more for the Oscorp than anybody else. We both know that the launch of this station is due to your service and your researches." Now, I'm speaking normal, but this guy is supposed to speak in a creepy voice, so just imagine that, guys. He tells Max that now he has the power he always wanted, and in order to prove himself to be even a brighter scientist, a true genius of his kind, he should organize a meeting with his new friend, Spider-Man, tomorrow, next night. While talking, they both walk at the top of the building. Max finds himself on the roof of the power station. A guy, unconscious, is attached to the chair in the middle of the room. A person on a wheelchair tells Max that it's Jacob, a guy who's been stealing his ideas for the past few years. Yeah, that's the guy who stole Max's idea in the part 1, by the way. He shows him the proof about that, and stuff, and he orders Max to do what he always dreamed about, to make justice. Max, very confused, yet after seeing all the evidence, he is obviously very mad at the same time. He, while still being mad and raging, grabs this guy's hand and the guy starts shaking, like a person going through a death sentence and who's on the electrical chair. When the guy is completely baked and dead, Max screams, feeling the massive adrenaline rush. He puts both of his hands up in the sky and calls a massive lightning bolt up to the sky. And that's the part 3. Hope you guys enjoy it. I know you guys have some questions, and trust me, everything will be answered in future parts. By the way, we are half through the movie. It's now the second half of the film, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that's where the action starts, obviously. And probably one of the questions will be how the hell Max turned into a bad guy, like immediately, after putting on the suit. And there's a reason for that. This will be explained. So guys, I hope this video can get 350 likes and I will release part 4. See ya.